Hey everybody, it's Steve with Sky 194 and appreciate you taking the time to visit and stop by and check out my video. And this is from the CP server that I just got done doing. We're at Nurburgring. Of course, you can see the weather is awful, which I think I've had more wet races at Nurburgring than all the other ones combined, just about, I think. I don't know, I guess they get really bad weather there all the time. But basically, I worked a dry setup for it, and I thought it was really good, for the EVO. And so I'm going to show you that. And I did it at 30. I'm glad I did it. Really glad I did it now, because I was going to just use the race to do it, but I've gotten bit from that before. So I actually did a hot stint, just like I always do with the new setups, and it was super consistent. And for this place, I mean, I'm really happy with it, because Nürburgring, for me anyway, is really hard to be consistent. It's just the way the track is and everything. You end up, seems like, you could run a few good laps and then you're just out to lunch. But it was really good. I mean, I was on the dry setup part. I was probably, if you just take away one bad lap, the worst lap, I think all the other laps were within about a half a second or 6 or 7 tenths or something. I mean, it was just I was really happy with that. So I was, since I wasn't able to do, to kind of, again, do it on a video with the race here, since it's sloppy weather, I'll show you that. And I was just showing you that I was in this race. And again, it was just a couple, I did a few laps here and was moving up, and then got involved with somebody else's wreck, which it just happens, just nowhere for me to go. I tried to dodge them, but I just ended up catching them, and then they hit me from behind. So basically, I had massive damage. So, I finished out the race, but I was finished near the rear because of just so much. And then I had a stop and go that I had to do. So it was just one bad thing after another. But the car was actually really good in the wet. Until I got in the wreck, I was moving up, and I was, everything was going decent, and it felt really good, and I wasn't pushing hard. I was just really trying to take my time and see how the car was, and so I'm gonna show the wet setup for it too, and then that way you can have the wet setup and the dry setup. I don't know where that wreck was. I think it was this. Was it this lap? No, I don't think it was this lap. No, don't think it's that lap. It's through this next section up here, so I don't think it's there. So I think it's this lap here. But you can see where I had a lot of guys behind me. I'm up to 10th. I moved up to 10th from dead last, and there he was. Thought he was right there across the whole track, and I tried to dodge him, but then I got hit in the rear, and you can see I had just absolute massive damage. So, but that kind of ended that. But it was just one of those things. So let's get out of this, and then I will show you the stint for the hot stint. It's right here. And I can't remember what lap it is. See, my best right now is a 56.0. I actually did a couple minor improvements on it after the 30 minutes, and then went out and did some more laps, and actually picked up a couple more tenths. So it even improved upon that. So basically, it was running really good around mid 55s, and being consistent all the way, staying in the low 56s. And for me, that, you know, Nurburgring isn't a real strong place for me, and I was really happy with that, with the EVO, especially, you know, like I said. I mean, here, if you could stay pretty consistent around here, you got something really good, because a lot of times, some guys might run really fast, but they drop off really bad too. So it's just, this track is so, I don't know if it's abrasive or what, but it just has it's really hard to stay to keep your tires under the car. I know in the past, I mean, I've had some massive drop-offs in time here. That was a 55.85. That was my fast lap. But like I said, after this, I did a few just little things after I felt what it did for the 30 minutes, and then I was actually running mid 55, so I picked up a couple more tenths. So I was really happy. Let's look at the results. Well, let's look at the last lap. I like doing that. So here's the last lap from 30 minutes. So that was a 56.5 there, which still, I mean, that's not real bad for after 30 minutes. Also you'll see on the setup, I had like 84 liters in the car. So because I was getting ready to race in the CP server, and I wanted to make sure that the fuel load, it wouldn't change the way the car was. So I actually had usually I only do these with 65 liters, but I actually had 84 liters in there. So I mean, it's got a pretty decent fuel load in it, and I was still running high 55s, low 56s. So I was really happy, and the car just felt very solid and very wasn't trying to fight you and be very difficult. I mean, you could push it, and you can maybe push it and make a little mistake or something, and it wouldn't bite you. Beautiful car. Absolutely beautiful. It's so pretty right there with, I don't know why it always has to, seems like when I want to do a race there, it's got to rain. Wish it'd be like sunny like that. So that nighttime's really pretty there too. That was a 56.33. So again, I mean, that's really, that's not bad. I mean, it's only like 5 or 6 tenths off my fast, and that's after 30 minutes. So I'm really, really happy with that after 30 minutes. And there's the result. I mean, there's all my laps. So you can see, you throw away I don't care at the beginning because, the tires are cold. I'm not pushing real hard. I had one little mess up here with a 57.13, but I mean, that's really on me. As you can see, all of them are 56s, 55, 56, 55, 56, 56, then that one, then 56, 56. Mid to low 56s all the rest of the way. So let's go over the setup, and we'll do that. I just wanted to, put a new setup out there for the AMG, and I just wasn't able to do it with the CP server. So let's go to get the setup, and I will give you the rain setup first. Okay, here's the rain setup. I had 28 all the way around, which I got, just depends on the. Of course, you got to go as far as the temperature. I mean, if it's really cold, you need to go up to about 29. but I try to run about 30.5 to 31, somewhere in that range. Tire temperature with the wets. At least that's my goal. The toe on the front is -0.1, the camber is -2.7, and the caster is 11. The toe on the rear is 0.15 with the camber at -2. Electronics are 8, 10, and 2. Fuel, I had 78 liters. Of course, number 3 brakes. Mechanical, I had 4 on the anti-roll bar, 54 on the brake bias. Steering ratio turned all the way down. Springs on the front were 130,000, all soft as I could go, with a 700 bump stop rate and a 15 bump stop range. And on the rear, the springs are 107,000 with a 600 bump stop rate and a 35 bump stop range. Anti-roll bar is 3, and the preload on the diff is 60. Shocks are 3, 2, 5, and 4, and 3, 2, 6, and 5. Aero, I had 54 in the front, 80 in the rear, 6 on the splitter in the front with a 10 rear wing, and a 3 and a 2 and a brake ducts. And like I said, I think it worked really well for a range setup. I mean, for a good base setup, it really gives you started where you can go from there. But it felt really good. And like I said, I was moving up slowly, and that's what I was wanting to do, but it just didn't work out. I'll make that a setup and put that in, but here's the dry setup. And that is 25.7 left front, 26 left rear, 26.2 right front, and 26.1 right rear. The toe is -0.1, with the camber at -3.6, and the caster at 12.1. The toe on the rear is 0.12, with the camber at -3.2. Electronics are 4 and 5. Fuel, see I had 84 liters, so I had a bunch of fuel on with the number 1 brake pad. Mechanical, I had 6 on the anti-roll bar, 55 on the brake bias. Steering ratios turned all the way down. The springs in the front are 143,000 with a 1,000 bump stop rate and a 1 bump stop range. And on the rear, the springs are 119,000 with a 600 bump stop rate and a 30 bump stop range. And the anti-roll bar on the rear was 5, and the preload on the diff was 50. And that's one thing I did. I added 1 click on the anti-roll bar on the rear because it was 4, and I moved it up to 5. Just needed a little bit more rotation, and like I said, I picked up a couple tenths. I went back out and did like 3-4 laps, and it was running a couple tenths faster than I was there, and the hot stint. So with the same amount of fuel and everything, so I was really happy with that. The shocks are 5, 3, 8, and 7 on the front, and 5, 4, 7, 8 on the rear. Aero had 50 for the ride height in the front, 76 in the rear, a 6 splitter, and a 6 rear wing, and a 3 and a 2 and a brake ducts. And the front aero variation is 1.1 to the positive. So again, I already made that a setup, and I will make the other one a setup and put that also. I'll put both links in the description. So any feedback or comments, it would be great. I sure hope it works for everyone out there that wants to try it. And again, please subscribe and hit the thumbs up if you would. It really does help support the channel. And any comment or feedback, if you like this kind of format, I would appreciate it, just so I know y'all like this kind of way of doing it as far as doing these videos with the setups. If y'all want more setups or less or things like that, I just trying to help anybody that wants some good base setups other than what comes with ACC. And I sure hope you come back and visit again. And y'all take care. See ya.